Alright, well, decided to make this video on a whim, but fuck it. Today I'm going to be reviewing Dead Rising, Watchtower. Now, I heard about this pretty recently, actually, and I'm actually surprised that it came out so soon, but it's been in production for like a year, and you know what? I'll have to give my 2 cents on it. Here you go. Now, the plot, yes, it's uninspired, it's unoriginal. I mean, shit, what's original nowadays? But it does borrow heavily from a lot of, plot elements from other zombie movies, and of course, the games. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, this movie is canon with the rest of the storyline. So this falls in between Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 3, I believe. And it's a very, it gets placed in the timeline, and it works really well. Now, besides it being, unoriginal and stuff, it's still a good story. There's a lot of great plot elements, and there's like really good dramatic scenes, and it's like one of those films that tries to, balance like comedic aspects and like horror aspects. Like, this movie's not scary at all. No, of course not. It's schlockiness at its best. But it finds a good balance. Like, there's not moments where I feel like, oh, that scene just completely took me out of the scene, or the scene previous. I'm not, being interrupted, like, I'm not feeling a certain emotion, and all of a sudden, nope, that's not what I want you to feel. It's like, feeling this, and then like, oh, and this, and like, oh, completely different feeling. It's like the same kind of vibe you'd get from, like, I don't know, Hobo with a Shotgun, I guess, where it's like, it's like bloody, it's gory, and all that shit, and all of a sudden it's comedic, and it's horrible, but it's like funny, and it's of course schlocky, but it works. It works really, really well. Now, the video effects are, they seem somewhat cheapish, but for a low-budget film, they're actually pretty damn good. They find a good balance between, practical effects, and of course, there's some CGI, but there wasn't moments where I was like, that is blatant CGI. It's like, of course, I'm always watching movies like, oh, I can see that that's CGI, like, oh, well, that's obviously CGI. But this felt like I wasn't looking, I wasn't nitpicking, I was just, oh shit, that guy's head just fell off, or oh god, there's blood everywhere. It's like, it worked well, and it didn't seem fake enough where it just brought me out of it. But for its low budgetness, it worked really well. Now, this is pretty much, like I was explaining before, this is pretty much a Dead Rising movie. And there's a lot of great callbacks, like characters, of course, the tone and the weapons. A big aspect of Dead Rising 2 was make your own weapons, and they use this to its full potential in this movie. They really show like some crazy ass weapons that you've never seen, and of course you've definitely seen if you played Dead Rising 2. Overall, this film is like a Dead Rising experience. Now, I wouldn't like label it like how would I explain this? You know how like there's Dead Rising and there's like the DLC like Case West or Case Zero? It feels more like DLC, if that makes any sense. It's like, it's a side story, and it's not like a great big epic. It's like a side bit that like, it really works with the rest of the story, and it really, drives the point along. It doesn't feel full fleshed out like, Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 3. But it works, is all I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just blabbering on, but it works. Now, I would like to talk about the cast. The casting in this film was pretty good. They have a lot of B-list and C-list actors. But the one role that really made this movie for me, and honestly, the reason why I really wanted to watch it, was Rob Riggle as Frank West. Now, they didn't have to have Frank West in this film. They could have just mentioned him, which they do often. Like, there's a certain scene, they have like a trophy with a gold statue of Frank West holding the bat and the camera. It's really fucking cool. But like, he's not a huge part of the plot line. He's actually just being interviewed by a news reporter who's just pretty much reporting on the whole situation, and they're in their cushy studio, and he's just giving advice, and it's hilarious. Like, his role was perfectly written, and honestly, I'm glad that Rob Riggle was able to pull it off. Now, I wish, of course, not going to probably happen, but I wish they could, make another movie with Rob Riggle as Frank West, because he pulls the character off perfectly. And it would, you know, be nice to see what else he could do with the character. So as a Dead Rising movie, I would give this a 9 out of 10 because it knocked it out of the park. It's a great Dead Rising movie. It catches the tone of it, the fun aspects of it. Every single thing where it's like, you know, like a video game adaptation movie where like they're all terrible. This is one of the crowning perfect examples that this is source material done right in a video game movie. Now, if you don't really know that series, or if you don't really know the series that much and you're more of like a fan of like B movies, zombie movies, or again, if you at least are familiar with Dead Rising, I'd probably give this film a 7.5. No, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 because it is fun. It is a fun film. Now, if you know nothing of the series and you're expecting a movie that will, you know, blow you away, it's gonna be very difficult. At that point, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. But again, this is a fan film. This is made specifically for the fans. And in that regard, it's perfect. It gets the tone. Everything is great about this. And I highly recommend it to anyone that has played a Dead Rising game and liked it. If you enjoyed a Dead Rising game, watch this movie. If you haven't, or at least know the series, maybe, you know, familiarize yourself a little bit more with the series if you really want to. Or hell, you might watch this and all of a sudden think, oh shit, this looks fun, and it makes you want to buy the game. That's cool too. But if you're really not interested at all, you're not going to want to watch this. So that's pretty much my rating. For me, 9 out of 10. For everyone else, I guess I'll just narrow it down to a 7 out of 10. It's a good film. I liked it, and it's free. So come on, I'm going to put the link down in the description below. And if you have any like doubts of how much I love Dead Rising, I even made myself a full-scale Surfbot helmet one Halloween, and I even made a stupid video with it. I'll put the link probably right here. Don't click on it, it's retarded. Never mind. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate all you guys' support with like my insane fan theories. I'll put a link at those at the end of the video. Yeah, so like I'm really happy with like more like a growing fan base, and I really appreciate you guys. So just rambling at this point. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Yeah, there's one main thing with this movie: soundtracks. It's key components of this, man. Gotta keep this whole plague at bay.